First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. Welcome to episode 2 of Comment Catch Up, where I take a little bit of my time to respectfully respond to your comments, even if they weren't respectful. No, just kidding. Everyone on this channel is great, and I do want to take a few minutes to give back and give you some response to the comments you were kind enough to give me. Let's go take a look. First, we have James Lee 5428. Still laughing. My 2023 890S model with only 7,000 miles on it. Tried to trade it in at my local Southern California KTM dealer, and they laughed me out of the store, saying they would not be able to sell the bike because no one is buying them. James, I feel your pain. I did have an offer from one of my dealers to take the bike on consignment, but he very politely said to me, I don't think it'll move. Similar to your dealer, his thought was, we'll take the bike, but I don't think we can get rid of any of these. So, James, thanks for commenting. And dude, I hope you can unload your bike. Okay, next we have, I'm not even going to try. SICAS. Dude, I'm sorry. I would do something terrible to that. And what he has to say is, if you want forever, buy a Tenere 700. I don't like the Tenere. I found the Tenere when I test rode it to be really high. I mean, it's no taller than my 790, but I swear I felt like I was just up high and the weight seemed high. I didn't really like it. Now, I did have an opportunity like a year and a half later to ride a 1-inch factory lowered. I'm not sure what they do from the factory. I know it's a lower seat and probably a lower suspension, but that one felt pretty good. And now that the Tenere has modern electronics, because cruise control is magical and you can put cruise control on the 2025, I could see myself picking up a Tenere when they hit used. I'd still have to lower it to get rid of that feeling, but I've got short legs, so lowering it wouldn't be a terrible thing. Okay, verbal widget. Dave says long haul Paul T700 over 200,000 miles. Geez, I mean, it is a Yamaha. It should last forever. No bike is perfect, but the T700 has a fabulous engine tuned for the rest. Okay, sorry. Tune the rest of the bike for your needs. Now, verbal widget is Dave, and he is not on his first, but he is on his second Tenere 700. And tell you the truth, his first one didn't look so great. He's done a really good job tuning his second one. He got rid of those terrible tube tires. And if his had cruise control, if it was fly-by-wire, I'd be telling him, let me know the moment you're going to sell that. Because if there's one thing we know about Widget, is he's going to sell his bike. Another comment on the Forever Bike video by Playmud 4x4. If buying to use and resell a bit later, not good, but with KTM products, expected greater loss. So if you have one, enjoy it till the engine stops. I have 390 Adventure 2024, and he loves it, but he does think the resale is bad on that as well. Thanks, Playmud. I appreciate the comment. That is something that I believe everyone looking at a KTM should be aware of. Even if you do not have a problem bike, there's enough out there in the internet sphere about there being problem KTMs that I think if you're going to buy one, you really do need to understand you might not be able to sell it for anywhere near what you paid for it. If you picked up an 890 Adventure R last year and paid $14.99 for it, even though it's a year-old bike with no known issues, I'd be surprised if you could get $995. And I say that because I was on Facebook Marketplace earlier today looking at motorcycles, and that one stuck out at me. Someone's about to take at least a $6,000 loss just to unload that bike, and they can't do it. And I think if you were to spend 12 grand on a Tenere and were to put it up for 10, I think you would get it, again, based on what people are selling their bikes for. And it's a KTM. I hope you like it. You're going to keep it. Hey, we have a comment here from Elcars ADV. He's a couple of hours west of me, and just commenting $125 for oil change parts. Yikes. Yeah, the kit for the 790 Adventure R is high. However, when I bought the bike, I knew there was a chance that I would have the bad cams like a lot of people. So what I've been doing is I buy the kit, I buy it on Amazon, I can prove that the bike was serviced, or at least I purchased everything to service it. That way, when I bring it into service, if KTM says, hey, this bike wasn't even taken care of, I can go, here, look, here's all the receipts. I spent all the money. It is high though. For my 390 Adventure, I go and buy the $3 filter and I clean out my screens and I put cheap oil in there. Hell, I may just go with diesel oil next time. I think that Bajaj builds the 390 so that it's going to last. Commenting on this, we have Pilot Dane, Obi-Wan. I know the mighty Suzuki DR650, $30 for oil and filter. Well, of course, Dane, it's a Suzuki. You can probably just stop changing the oil at this point. It'll be fine. And then we have M Pujo, $50 for the same kit for CF Moto on Amazon. Thanks, M Pujo. I will look at that. I think that as long as I buy a kit made or designed for use with that engine, I should be good when I go back to the dealer. So if I can get a CF Moto kit for the same engine, I would absolutely be happy to save $40. The next guy is Show My Time 1977. Can we get a link? So yeah, if you see this Peugeot, can we get a link? I will be looking for that on Amazon shortly. Okay, comment on Forever Bike is Motaz Stew. Hey, Greg, do you know that somebody's using Motaz in their name? You should have thought of that. Grumpy, bearded Motaz rider, something like that. And he rolled the dice on a 24 790 Adventure. Incredible riding machine, sensibilities be damned. I agree completely, Motaz. It is exciting to ride that bike. I have had at least a dozen people ride my bike. No one has ever come back without a smile on their face. Okay, some comments to his. We have comfy dad shoes. I might do the same dice roll after clearing up some medical issues. Well, Comfy, I hope those are cleared up or clear up soon and you get yourself a motorcycle. While I don't recommend the 790, I hope you get a bike for next season. And we have Gary Dossett 6688. The 24s are made by CF Moto and are completely different animals, solid machines. I think he's right there. My buddy Tim of TimFest fame has the CF Moto made 790. He's totally happy with it. And I believe in the next 6 months, with the amount Tim rides, it should be in for a look at the valves and the cams. And I'm really hoping it turns out that indeed, as Gary thinks, CF Moto has solved the oil delivery problem. And those bikes can be bought again without concern. Unfortunately, I think that the brand damage is done. I'm seeing, like I mentioned earlier, even the new bikes, nobody wants to pay anything remotely close to what they would a Japanese bike of the same year. Hey, we have another one here. We have 99 SSC. Me too, 4 years of warranty, and we'll see how this plays out. Super fun bike. I've owned a lot of other KTMs. And that's another thing. Thank you for pointing it out, 99. 4-year warranty on those CF Moto bikes as long as you have your service done at the dealer. Okay, on Forever Bike. I think there's a lot of Forever Bike here. It was an incredibly popular video because people love to see me suffer. So Jim H 2061. I bought a new 2024 and have about 750 or 7,500 miles on it, and it's been a great bike. A few quality control issues, but nothing major. I absolutely love the bike, but I hate that I won't get anything for trade. Yep, that's going to be it, man. Jim, I'm glad you love the bike, and you're not going to get anything on a trade, and you're not going to get anything on a sale either. Okay, we have the Shady 80 Show 3355. I also own a Forever 2020 790 Adventure R. Sorry, buddy. The engine grenaded last fall. Right side of the piston crown collapsed and the ring broke. Oof. KTM Canada covered the entire 5,000 Canadian parts list as well as the labor. That's fantastic. Really happy to hear that. It was great to meet you in Nemo, South Dakota last week. Hopefully the Triumph rental treated you well. World Around Camp was someone took a Triumph street bike up Custer Mountain Lookout. So yes, I met Shady 80 at Nemo, which is the coolest little store to stop at. And yeah, that was me taking the Triumph up that dirt road to the Lookout. How was your DR doing? He and his buddy were on, I believe, DR 650s when we met them there. He did not have his Lemon with him. And I'd like to take a moment here to say, people ask me, do you get recognized? And the answer is, no, I don't get recognized. I'm on YouTube. I'm not on television. But every now and again, rarely, somebody does walk up and say, hey, I think I know you from YouTube. So if you ever see me anywhere at a rally, at a gas station, just stopped on the side of the road with a broken down KTM, please come over and say hello. I absolutely love meeting people. Anyone who rides a motorcycle, I am happy to meet you. And if you happen to have seen me on the internet, that's even better. So by all means, I've gotten a couple of comments where I saw you here, but I didn't want to come over. I saw you there, but I didn't want to bother you. Absolutely, positively, like Shady 80 here, come on over and say hi. You will never be imposing on me. I will never not enjoy talking to other riders, and I will never, ever not enjoy talking to people who have seen the YouTube channel. So I appreciate it when you make the time to come over. Just Connor's asking him whether the how the damage occurred. And Shady says, the crown in a couple of chunks, never overheated, and no signs of it during teardown. Ah, such lemons. Okay, on the Forever Bike, we have Moto Off-Road Adventures. This guy is great. He's living my dream. Back in 2018, both of us bought a ProMaster with the plans of making a camper van out of it and then taking our bike and going places with our wives. One of us managed to do it, and one of us is sitting in the office in the building he's been leasing for 20 years, not traveling. And so I'm very jealous, but I do like living vicariously through his videos, and I do recommend you go take a look at Moto Off-Road Adventures. Your name's a bit long there, buddy. He says, what is your overall thought on KTM right now? Because I'm a little interested in the new 390 Adventure R, but the brand scares the heck out of me. All right, let's settle in for this one. Whenever someone says to me, what do you think of KTM? I need to find out what they mean. Do they mean, what do I think of KTM from the KTM side, or what do I think of KTM from the Bajaj side? Now, he's mentioning the new 390 Adventure R, and that's the Bajaj side. And I think that side is awesome and fantastic. Now, I do think there are some niggling issues that Bajaj has, primarily that they don't button things up as well as any other brand. I mean, obviously nobody buttons up like a Honda or a Yamaha where every single piece fits perfectly and it's been engineered to do so. But even if you're looking at a Royal Enfield, that bike, and Moto Off-Road Adventures has a Royal Enfield, that bike has much better quality standards for making things fit together. What we have here is KTM makes blank bikes. They really want to go bankrupt and nobody lets them. Get something else if you value your time and money. I can't argue with that. I really can't. I would actually say that the judge in Europe kept them from going bankrupt when they should have. But that's all behind us now. Bajaj now has, I believe, a 74% controlling stake. So it's a new KTM. Okay, show my time 9177. Also, I bought an 890 just before the camshaft scandal broke out. It's still working today, but the service and the quality is nowhere near what you pay for the bike. I'm now trying to get rid of but nobody wants it, and they're lowballing the blank out of me, even though it's extremely accessorized. And I feel for you, man. I really do. You are not wrong. Nothing you've said here is inaccurate at all. That said, circling back to the beginning of this comment, your experience is my experience with Austrian KTM. What Moto Off-Road Adventures here is talking about is a Bajaj KTM, and it's a completely different story. I have 30,000 miles on my Bajaj KTM. It hasn't had any work done to it. I have beaten it. I have abused it. I have skipped oil changes. I have run the brake pads down. I have let the chain go, abused the heck out of it. It doesn't have to go to the dealer. A little tightening, a little replacing, couple of parts. Bajaj makes a durable bike. I'm not going to say it's a Suzuki, but it's definitely worth looking at the Bajaj KTMs. All right, folks, if you stuck around, I have a lot of fun doing these, so you're probably going to see more. If you don't like them, just skip them, but please watch all my other videos. All right, take care.